fourth is adding foods back in that help coat the stomach. So I just raided my kitchen here, and it turns out that cabbage is very healing for the stomach. So making, it can be red like I have, or green, any different type of cabbage, but it contains a chemical in called mucins, and they line the stomach and they coat it, and it protects the stomach while it's healing. And so you can make cabbage juice. That's probably the most effective way to heal, but it's not the most savory. But eating, personally, I think drinking raw cabbage juice without adding something like carrot or something better tasting is not a very pleasant way to go. But if you don't mind it, or you're very brave of palate, try it. It's healing even if it's not so pleasant. But eating raw cabbage, like making cold slaw, or even sometimes cooking the cabbage, can still have a very healing effect on your stomach. And gelatin is another food that if you eat gelatin, it can help by coating your stomach and helping heal in that way. So the fifth kind of diet that can help heal arthritis is one that includes broths. And these are specific broths that are acidic, and you make them with animal parts, so like the bones and the joints. So what you're doing with the acid is you're leaching out all sorts of very helpful components that we don't often have in our diet if we're just eating regular meat from mussels. But by using some wine or some vinegar in a broth, and then stewing a chicken carcass or ribs or trotters, or like pig's feet or calf's feet, or the whole skeleton of a fish, anything that's got all the bones and the joints in it, and then cooking it for between 4 and 24 hours on low, will leach out the glucosamine and the chondroitin and other components of the joint that we don't often eat. But it's actually a pretty cheap and for me, pretty delicious way to get my glucosamine and chondroitin and calcium in a way that's highly bioavailable, meaning that your body can use it right away. And there's an old South American proverb that a good broth can bring back the dead. And I wouldn't underestimate at all the healing properties of adding this type of broth back into your diet several times a week. The fifth type of diet that has been proven to help arthritis is one that's a largely vegetarian one. And the principle that works here is that arthritis is a disease of acidity. And if we eat too much protein and too much starch, that makes our body more acid. Whereas if we eat green leafy vegetables and other vegetables like squash, that tends to make our body more alkaline, and that's what's needed when somebody is in an arthritic state to recover. So eating about 80% vegetables, especially green leafy vegetables, that's another reason why things like wheatgrass work so well, is they help alkalize the body. So eating about 80% of alkalizing food, which is mainly vegetables, and then only about 20% protein and starch is another way that over time you can help heal your body. And the alkalizing diet is not a quick fix. If you're highly acidic, it can take a year, maybe more, to finally reach a stable pH in the healthy range. But every day that you eat on that diet, it helps move your body in this healthy direction. And as of course you've noticed, you can do all 6 of these types of diet together. You can combine each principle, and each one that you add in will make it more likely that you will get well. And all 6 of them together are using all 6 of these principles is more likely to heal your body than if you were to leave any of them. I forgot to tell you about teas. Another thing when you're doing an alkalizing diet is, this is mainly alfalfa that I got loose at a health food store. And you can also buy alfalfa as a packaged product just in a tea bag. But if you substitute an alkalizing beverage, and one of the reasons alfalfa is so good for arthritis is because it's also highly alkalizing. So if you substitute this highly alkalizing beverage for something highly acidic that you might be having, like soda or milk or coffee, then that will also help you heal. Although if you've got lupus, don't use alfalfa. That's the one condition that alfalfa is not good for. So again, and I keep remembering things. I've got pretty little props here. So one way you can test to see whether an alkalizing diet is something that's important for you is you can buy pH test strips at a health food store. And you can take one out, and first thing in the morning, before you've eaten anything, you can swallow your saliva several times, and then spit on it, and then use the color chart to see what your pH is. And you should be around the 7.2, 7.4 range. If it's lower than that, you can benefit from an alkalizing diet. So that's a really simple way to know whether that's relevant for you or not. So again, Barbara Allan, author of the book Conquering Arthritis, and I would love to share more of my arthritis healing secrets. Diet was a very, very important part of me healing my own arthritis after I was in a wheelchair for years, but it's not the only thing that's important, and I would love to share with you some of the other secrets for healing as well. Thanks for joining me here today.